It's your boy Young Love, I give him that thing. Control like a stand, if I cheat America, Banyi Dwal, Control like a stand, if I cheat America, Banyi Dwal, walk on your leg, Kankaro, what I know watching, Oga, level leg, gear, power, leg, Panda with ya, Panchid America, Panya Dwal, Chingatonga, Pandon, could you ever buy a check out, Papu Panda, Juru, what ya be. Panchi America, Banyi Dwal, Panta Leg
Hello, welcome. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lake State Media. My name is Abraham Medit, and we are live, Clubhouse and here. So our topic right there, what bring disunity among South Sudanese. Please listening in.
And also, it's not, and we cannot say it's a complete. Was the time in 1997, Khartoum Peace Agreement, the one has been signed by the Dr. Hip, and Kelbino, and Ayokton, and Dr. Emakol. Seven government which unites South Sudanese. The first, that government was in 2005, the Comprehensive Peace Agreement. We have our own government. But the government pay to pay the nation. We have a common culture, but we are not a nation. We are a tribe. When we got our independence in 2011, the current government pay to build the nation. That's why we have this unity. And we said that one. If you have a government, it's the government will take responsibility for your security. It's not your community will come to protect you, it's the government. And not because you have a government, you have a government, it's the government will give you the hospital, the school. And then, if government pay to build that one, which is meaning you were not loyal to government, you were loyal to your community. It's the government to connect the city. And if there is connection, there will be move among civilians. And that you can pay, you can live in a way. And because there is a government will protect you, and you have a right to live in a way according to your wish. The current government pay to do that one. And then the government pay to put how to make the hoe, which will protect anyone have a problem. If somebody grab your hand, you make sure if you go to God court, the God will stand with you. It's meaning this agreement or this unity among South Sudanese is the government who did it. As the people of South Sudan, we don't have a problem. And if we have a problem, the time of referendum, we could not vote for separation. The time of the struggle, we could not vote for our independence, which is meaning as a people of South Sudan, we don't have a problem, but we have a problem. Our problem comes to our leaders. They pay to be the nation, which if we want to blame why the disagreement came, we can blame our leaders. And what is the way forward?
Those of you in club Facebook, if you want to join, just click the link and you can join us discussion.
To understand the common enemy, to understand who behind all this unity, who is the obstacle to progress our country. Your enemy is not your neighbor. Your enemy is not the tribe who was you. Your enemy is a person who you give him the power to protect you, to unite you, to deliver the service that you fought for it. Before 3 days or 4 days ago, use in bold, they came with division, and also they formed the small militia. They say the government pay to protect us, and then we order or use to come together and to protect the civilian, which is meaning the same thing will happen to Morel, the same thing will happen to Noel. And today, there was a discussion in Equatorial Forum, and they discussed about that issue, which is meaning the same thing, those who near to Jonglei, the Mandala Baya, they will form the militia, and the government pay to protect its own people. And this one will create the disunity among South Sudanese. The win, tribe A and tribe B are fighting. You will stand with the tribe. Okay, who cares that one? And who have a responsibility to prevent that one? Is the government. Go to a break. Before the current governors people were fighting themselves. The when that guy went, General Faith Now there is not fighting, which is meaning is the responsibility of the government to prevent that one. This one is example, is more example, and the same thing will go up. And though even I disagree with what General Alewanyang did it, and you don't have a right to pay the civilian that the military. If they make the mistake, you can take them to court, and court will do its part. It's not you. And that what is good. And it is the responsibility of the government to protect the civilian. And also, if there any criminal commit, the government can involve to take that person to court. The whole mess up in our country, we can blame the government. If that disunity is continued, also we will blame the government. And that what is our responsibility. To come together and unite and to fight that government, to bring the new government which will work to build the nation and our unity. And at that time, sometime now, in this time, if you touch somebody in government, you will say, no, you know, you touch my tribe. And our society become the victim of our disagreement.
Brother Goodwich, if you don't mind, you can wrap it up and then you can stick around and later on and weigh in as well. So you actually mentioned a very important point. So, first, because there's people that are waiting to weigh in as well. Yeah, in a minute.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and stay up here.
And let me ask you, before you wrap it up, what is the government? I want to know, because I don't know what government. I need you to define me what government.
Yeah, thank you. Derwick, we give you a minute to finish. We didn't cut you off. You still have time to finish your thought, and then we'll come back to you later because there's people are waiting to weigh in as well on the subject matter. But go ahead, open your mic and finish your thought.
Okay, thank you, Belder. Let us come together as a people of South Sudan and unite and identify the common enemy. When we identify our common enemy, we will unite. The disagreement will we go out. And this one is my message. And is what actually I say where this agreement come from. And because I know we don't have a government, is a government actually who encourage people, and is a government who work and divide us. If we have the unit, if we have a government, I think the whole thing could not happen. And that point, the topic actually is very fantastic topic. And I want the whole people can participate, and also you can put your input or your opinion. And we can benefit all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brother Goodwich. That's what actually well articulated. And to be quite honest with you, from your observations, I don't know how old you are, but to mention that in 1955, people of South Sudan were united, and even 1947 as well, the Juba Conference over Majuro al-Madri Musudira. And 1972, people of South Sudan were united as well. And in 1983, under the SPLM, the people of South Sudan were united. The unity of purpose at that time to liberate South Sudan in 1997. And you said it wasn't complete. I actually compliment you for that because for your honesty, what happened in 1997, the peace agreement or the Khartoum peace within, it was actually a tool to divide people of South Sudan. And I like the fact that you said it wasn't complete. And in 2005, under the CPA, as you mentioned, people of South Sudan were together as well. And the list will go. This is actually quite.
Our cousin, because the war of South Sudan, 2013 was reprising the war of the year. We would look through. So the moderator and the speakers in the panel for giving me this chance to speak.
Thank you. Okay, no problem. What you can.
Thank you. The disunity in our community has been caused by a number of reasons that you had mentioned. Some of the speakers had mentioned whether it is due to the war, political reasons, or whether it's on tribal issues. There has been a lot of distrust with what has been happening in our country. A lot of people have lost their vision, and that is what has led to disunity, in my opinion. What we need to do as South Sudanese, because a lot of reasons have been mentioned, and I will not go into it, is to educate our people about this disunity. The disunity does not help anybody. We follow either political functions or on tribal lines, being blind and just following it. We do not even look if something is wrong for us to stand and tell the truth that this is wrong. We can disagree as a community at different levels, but then we still have to have that unity among ourselves. On a human level, our disunity has gone so deep that today I can make sure that if you are from a particular part or a particular tribe or a particular region or a particular political function, I will make sure that you go down. We have been blinded by hatred, and hatred is one of the main reasons that has led to disunity. We need to understand, or we need to educate our community that this disunity is not going to help anybody. To the northerners, whether we disunite is to the advantage of the northern Sudan, for example. If we disunite, for example, as one tribe, and we divide and we think we are superior, superiority is one of the reasons where it also leads to disunity, because the other tribe is down on the other tribe. Does it help us? No. Is it taking us forward? No. So we need to have forums where we can come and sit down and define disunity, define the causes. How can we find solutions for it? Educate the people, because sometimes a lot of people don't even know how to disagree politically and then still agree on the human level to be united. When I was in Khartoum, I worked with the daughter of Sadiq al-Mahdi. And there was a young lady that we used to send to the house there, to Mahdi's house. When it's Ramadan time, Sadiq and Turabi would sit down. They disagree in the parliament, but when they come down to...
I don't know if yes, go ahead.
When they come down...
You lost for a while.
Oh, sorry, it might be the connection, sorry. When they come down at the level as Muslims who are coming to break their fast, they sit down as in-laws and as humans. And that we don't have as South Sudanese. Our disunity has gone so deep, so deep, so deep, that we are ready to demolish a whole clan. We are ready to demolish a whole tribe. We don't even think. We don't give our chance to even think. Because when the distrust that Mr. Is it Artileo had mentioned earlier, when somebody is doing something good in the community, then people start thinking, oh, they're doing this because they want to gain something, or they are doing this because they want their tribe to be this. I've been a victim of that, and I've seen it, and it breaks my heart because when I go out to help the community, I leave my kids, I give my time, and a lot of people have done that. Let us go back. If we say we have a faith that we believe in, it should teach us unity. If we believe in our country that we voted for, then we need to do a lot. We need to work hard. This disunity is not taking us anywhere. I was in South Sudan in December, and it breaks my heart. Every time I go home, it breaks my heart. 20 years ago, when I came to the U.S., in the state where we are, we were one community, and we loved each other. But now, a Dinka can die, even the other Dinkas will not come. A Equatorian can die, the others don't care. You can have, there's a party on one side, while there's somebody who is not yet even buried. This is the level we have reached as the community. We have become insensitive, and that is bad. And I wish the elders in our community will educate us, will educate our community. Let us learn from this big country where we are. In the United States now, there are 50 states. People disagree, but still at the end of the day, they look at the common good of humanity, and they work on that. Let us work on that level.
That was so beautiful, Mr. What you've chosen your words very carefully. Even your words alone, if you listen to them carefully, they should be a source of unity for anyone who is seeking the unity. I grabbed this from you that we don't know how to disagree politically. This is a very powerful statement, and I strongly agree with you. We don't know as a nation and politicians and the community of the intellectuals how to disagree professionally. This is our main problems. And you said as well, if we believe in a country that we all voted for, this actually should unite us. This is a question anyone who's listening here should rephrase that to himself or herself. If you believe in a country called South Sudan, this should be a ground to unite to one another. You see, that was well put, Sister Quartz, and thank you for your input.
I think let me say something.
Okay.
I'm very proud of you. You see, this is how quality of leadership you are. See now, the room has become quiet, and now people are picking up very nice. And I see my daddy down there, and you ask him to moderate. This is a good thing. I like you to do it. So I will stop there, and thank you, Sister Quad. You hit my mind up. Thank you.
Thank you, Ustaz Kennedy. And yes, Quad, I seen your blinking your mic. You want to add something before?
No, I just wanted to say you're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you. You're most welcome as well. So, Ustaz Turban, I فرصة عليك لأنه ترجع شغل بعد شوية.
شكرا أستاذ تيلو. بدول الكلام. Yeah, أنا كنت أدري كلام أستاذ أتيس. I just want to follow my sister upward because we are from Greater Jonglei, Singapore.
أيوة أستاذ جوب، أنت هتجي لأنه تربان في شغل وقبل أستاذ لأنه كان زمن تاو ضيق معلش أنا جي لقى سبعة شيء أنا شايف إن أنت انتظرت كثير برادر جوب سما ظروفك ممكن تخلي الترور يتخلص بعدك نرجع لك معلش بس يعني.
Yeah, you are right. Your comment is true. Yes.
Thank you, Brother Atilo. Thank you to all of you. ناس قاعدين في الفورم عائلة. Yeah, شكرا again لستر أكوان. كلامك جميل جدا. فعلا دل أو مشاكل كتير قاعد واجهنا في السودان. الحاجة اللي أقوله طبعا أنا ما عندي كلام بعيد جدا من كلام من قريب كلام تاع مدام أكوان. لكن
أكوان بابا
أكوان أوكي. كتير different حاجة مثير هيكون different اللي هي مثلا بتاع إنه أنا ما أدري السياسات بتاعنا القديم ده كلام الناس اللي يتكلموا تبع سنة 47 وحركة بتاع نيانيا وان كلامات كتير الجابوك أجل ما هناك لأن يكون قريبين لنا بس المشاكل بتاعنا كله جات بعد إنه أكدنا الاستقلال بتاعنا سنة 2011 بعد الاستقلال ده الحتة اللي نقبلنا فيه ونقبلوا ده إما الجنوبيين كسيدة like ترايب أو قبائل بتاعنا في الجنوب القبائل بتاعنا حتى يومنا هذا ما عندهم مشاكل موجودة هسه حاليا الجنوب قاعد فوقنا المشاكل اللي فيه حاليا ده مشاكل بتاع politician على راسه ناس فيها أوكي يعني ناس فيها يا فتح باب بتاع فوضى سياسية قاعد يحصل في الجنوب ده وأنا ذكرت في السنة سابقا الحته دي طبعا ما فيها اي مناقشه ما في اي زول ممكن يقدر يطلع من الدائره دي الا اذا كان مجال بتاع النفاق قاعدين ينافسوا للاخطاء موجوده امام الناس يعني سواء كان هم
Parliament, which is actually new and everybody is now there. And I'm saying that the GC came up to answer the lie, disinformation, and propaganda brought up by the politicians to protect themselves and put away their crimes. We never talk about the community. We never talk about ethnicity. Check our papers. You will not find that. Now, for this group, the clubhouse, and people who are here, what is wrong? Why I see some people interfering with you, and some are even insulted? Why? When you are not speaking against others. You know, in the West, there are those. For people who have hated teachers,